Welcome to the Natural Health Show with one of New England's leading holistic specialists, Mark Mincola. Call Mark at 617-822-1969 on 96.9 Boston Talks.
Greetings and welcome home, Natural Health Nation. And a happy, healthy Father's Day to all dads out there today. You were graced with a magnificent Sunday, and we are graced with the voice of one Catherine Foley from Jar Formulas. Catherine, are you on board with us?
Hi, good afternoon, Mark.
How are you?
Good. Happy Father's Day to you.
Hey, thank you so much. And it's great to have you on board. We're going to talk about something today that I think is really important for everyone to know more about. You can't know enough about CoQ10.
Right.
And, I was just doing a little bit of research, a little bit of prep, and found that there are 30,000 citations, 450 scientific papers from 200 countries. There have been 12 international symposia. I mean, wow, we're talking about a real important nutrient here.
Yeah, and I was doing some research as well, and the same thing I noticed is the amount of clinical studies is just impressive.
It is really and truly amazing.
Right, and then I found a statistic that CoQ10 is the third most sold dietary ingredient in the U.S. right after omega-3s and multivitamins.
Incredible. And in the 30,000 citations and 450 scientific papers from 200 different countries have proven the benefit of CoQ10 at treating a variety of degenerative diseases, including congestive heart failure, high blood pressure, angina, arrhythmias, cardiomyopathy, Parkinson's, in addition, periodontal disease, shortness of breath, fatigue, and on, because we're talking about a nutrient that essentially is in every cell in the body and delivers energy and oxygen to every cell in the body. You can't get more fundamental than that.
Right, and the most important thing, I know we've talked about this topic before, heart disease and CoQ10, and I always like to quote one of my old professors that said, the most dangerous thing about cardiovascular disease is that the first signs that you have it are typically a heart attack, and I'm calling from home today because this weekend, my little dog he's not little, but he had he had a heart attack, and it's terrifying, and, I know all too well that, that old saying is true, that you really don't know. It's the silent killer out there, and so, we really do need to take care of our hearts, and, it's one of those things that just happens, and unfortunately, when we find out, sometimes for a lot of people and animals, it's too late. So, we're lucky to have him still with us, and he'll certainly be getting lots of omega oils and carnitine and
no
CoQ10.
doubt he's going to get the best of care, no question about that. But you make a great point. When levels of CoQ10 decline by as little as 25%, our organs become deficient and impaired. And when our levels of CoQ10 decline by 75%, death may occur. And there's so many folks out there that are on statin drugs like Lipitor, for example, that are not forewarned by their physicians that statin drugs will lower your CoQ10.
Right, and and again, unfortunately, you don't see the physical manifestations of these things, because sometimes the very first physical manifestation you'll get is a stoppage of the heart. So you don't want it to be that dramatic, and we want to do things to nourish our heart, to take CoQ10 as a preventative.
Well, and something, it's really all about prevention. The whole concept of disease prevention is a whole another world unto itself, and our inclination is to think about intervention. To just live your life la-di-da, and then when something drastic happens to your health, and that random bolt of lightning seems to have hit you, then of course everybody's interested in doing the very best they can to improve their health and to sustain life. But unfortunately, they really need to be thinking in different terms, in terms of prevention. And it's there's no parades when you're preventing disease. You're just doing the right thing, and you'll never know just how much life you're giving yourself and how much disease you're preventing for yourself. But again, the whole concept of prevention is not glamorous, but it's certainly efficient.
Yeah, absolutely. And, I used to, people, because I, work in the world of vitamins every day, people often ask me, like, what do you take every day? And CoQ10 is one of the things that I do take every day. And, people, do you have a reason to take it? Or, I just know how it is so important in the body, and we know as we age that concentrations naturally decline. So it's one of those things that I would often say to people, to me, CoQ10 is like taking the place of vitamin C. Like, it's just that important. It's the new vitamin C.
It is, and I take CoQ10 as well. And we're going to talk with Catherine Foley from Jarrow Formulas today about CoQ10. And we're going to talk with you about any of your questions regarding natural health issues, diet, weight loss, vitamins, minerals, etc., etc. So we're interested in hearing from you as well. And in Boston, in New England, 617-822-1969. Verizon Wireless users, free call pound 969. You're listening to Mark Mincola. This is The Natural Health Show. We'll be right back.
So, what's new for insiders?
For the rock fans in your life, enter to win a pair of tickets to see Kiss on July 12th at the Verizon Wireless Arena in Manchester, New Hampshire.
Plug in, boot up, log on, online, on demand, 969bostontalks.com.
Hi, this is Laura from Good Health. After 33 years in the business, we've learned that when you do something differently with integrity, people notice. At Good Health, we offer clean, organic products and everyday low prices. Our stores are filled with handcrafted health and beauty products, most items you won't even find in the large chains. That's why we're proud to partner with Evan Healy Skincare, a holistic beauty line formulated by skincare professionals, perfect for sensitive skin of all ages and those with rosacea. So visit us in Quincy or Hanover and experience Evan Healy for yourself. These products will transform your understanding of natural skincare. Ask for a mini treatment of these hydrating lotions, serums, spritzers, and exotic clays, created to heal and replenish all skin types and conditions. You will truly feel and see the difference, and your skin will never be the same. For store hours and locations, or to learn more about Evan Healy and all our wholesome products, visit goodhealthnaturalfood.com. Treat yourself to the very best of everything from nature. See you soon.
Did you get enough lutein today to support eye health? Probably not. Lutein and zeaxanthin help preserve our ability to focus and differentiate colors. Most Americans consume only 2 milligrams per day, yet populations with good eye health often consume 6 to 20 milligrams to protect the macula of the eye against oxidative stress and aging. But not to worry, Vision Optimizer from Jarrow Formulas supplies lutein, zeaxanthin, and 13 other vitamins, phytonutrients, and herbs that support eye health and function. These include ingredients such as New Zealand blackcurrant extract with powerful polyphenol antioxidants that reduce eye fatigue and promote eye comfort, and herbs such as grapeseed extract, eyebright, and ginkgo biloba to promote circulation and blood vessel integrity with the addition of alpha-lipoic acid to protect the lens of the eye. Ask for Vision Optimizer at your local health food store, or for more information, go to jarrow.com. That's JARROW for the best in eye health formulas.
Make plans now for a day with Joan Borysenko. Hear Joan Borysenko Sunday, August 7th at the John F. Kennedy Middle School in Waltham. Joan Borysenko is acknowledged as one of the world's greatest leaders and distinguished pioneer in integrative medicine and the mind-body connection. Joan Borysenko's groundbreaking book, Minding the Body, Mending the Mind, revolutionized our awareness of the mind-body connection a few years back. Now, Joan's new book, Fried, Why You Burn Out and How to Thrive, is here. Joan will share up-to-the-minute spiritual inspiration coming from her own process in a unique presentation, Reviving Your Life, with a book signing to follow. Register for Joan Borysenko on myhealthylivingmag.com. General admission is just $39. Program begins at 2 p.m. Call 781-834-2728 for tickets. That's 781-834-2728. This is your chance to see Joan Borysenko live Sunday, August 7th at the John F. Kennedy Middle School in Waltham. Register at myhealthylivingmag.com. Come learn how to revive your own life energy.
Now back to the Natural Health Show, sponsored by Good Health Natural Foods in Quincy and Hanover.
In Boston and New England, 617-822-1969. Verizon Wireless users, free call pound 969. Let's go to Ronnie in Amesbury. Welcome to 96.9 Boston Talks. You're in the Natural Health Show.
Hi, thank you for taking my call.
Pleasure.
I'm calling in behalf of my husband. Wondering if you have any recommendations for herbal supplements for male sexual potency.
Yeah, there are a number of options here. I think question number one is, how's his blood pressure?
Good, really good.
Good. Then, I think Maca, M-A-C-C-A, is probably a good way to go. You'll find Mac on the shelves at any of the health food stores. And again, I think for folks who are concerned about this particular issue that may have a problem with blood pressure, I'd rather use Catawba, C-A-T-U-A-B-A, which is a Brazilian rainforest herb, which is, again, readily available over the counter at the health food stores. So in your case, I'd recommend, your husband's case, I should say, I'd recommend Maca, M-A-C-C-A.
Okay.
Pretty easy to find, and it'll give you pretty much a suggested dosage on the side of the container. But Nature's Herbs, the Herb Farm, there's a number of different companies that make a really good Mac out there.
Okay, great. Thanks so much.
Pleasure. Thank you for calling.
Bye.
Bye-bye. All right, Catherine, you still over there on the line?
I am here. I know
right.
This is the first time I've ever called.
I know. I'm so used to you being right here next to me. I just have to make sure you're still on board. We're going to grab a couple calls and let you help out with some of these calls. We've got Carol from Newton. Welcome to 96.9 Boston Talk Show on the Natural Health Show.
Thank you for having me. I have a quick question about CoQ10.
Mm-hmm.
I was wondering what the optimal amount is to take. I'm now taking, I think, 200 milligrams daily, and I wanted to know if that was right. And also, if you could recommend what you think is the best brand.
Well, first thing I'm going to ask you to do is to think in terms of what type of CoQ10. There's ubiquinone, there's ubiquinol. And I'm going to throw it over to Catherine because I know Catherine has some great answers for these questions. But Catherine, I'd love to have you, for our listeners, distinguish the difference between ubiquinone and ubiquinol in terms of absorption, etc.
Yeah, for sure. Originally, ubiquinone was the type of CoQ10 that was readily available on the shelves, and ubiquinol is the reduced form of CoQ10. It's the biologically available form. And that being said, a lot of times when a compound is reduced or biologically available, it's hard to stabilize for capsule preparation. Mm-hmm. A couple years ago, the Raw Material Company was able to stabilize it, and now we can take ubiquinol as a form of CoQ10, and the absorption pretty much doubles.
Isn't it? Didn't Jarrow Formulas do a study? Correct me if I'm wrong. It's like 450% more absorbable than some of the chewable CoQ10s or something like that. Is that right?
Yes, we did the metabolism studies. Because CoQ10 is very difficult to get into the system, mm-hmm. so you want to make sure, and this goes to recommending or looking for a good product, you want to make sure the product that you're taking has had metabolism studies done with it. You can look at the Jarrow Formulas bottle, and you'll see the excerpt, the chart on the label that shows the information or the data from the metabolism study. That being said, CoQ10 is expensive, so if you're making that choice and you're spending the money, you want to make sure that you're spending the money on a company that has spent the money to make sure that it's getting absorbed into your system.
So we'd say Jarrow Formulas.
Yeah.
If you won't say it, I'll say it.
I know, right?
No, and I'm saying it from the heart. I mean, yeah. and for the heart. And I do believe the Jarrow Formulas ubiquinol. That's what I take. I take Jarrow Formulas ubiquinol. So and I take 200 milligrams. So you're right on the money in terms of the dosage.
Okay, great. Thank you very much.
Pleasure. Thanks for calling. I think, Catherine, that's an important distinction, too, the absorption factor.
Yeah.
And, so many folks, of course, when they wander out through the natural health food stores hither and yon, they're looking at prices and they're looking at a variety of brand names and they're just confused. And sometimes, sometimes it's not a half bad idea to price shop and to get the best price on a given supplement. But there are those supplements, and I think CoQ10 is one of them, that you really don't want to compromise. As you pointed out, you want to make sure that you're absorbing it or you're wasting your money. And there's nothing more important than making sure that you're getting good absorption of something that's going to take care of your heart and your brain.
Right, and CoQ10 being the third most sold dietary ingredient, that there's a lot out there, because people want to get into that market. So there is a lot to sort through. And some of the best ways to know that you're getting the best quality.
Yep.
And getting the best quality does not necessarily have to mean that you're spending the most money. And
Good point.
And I hope that people do remember that, because, Jarrow Formulas is always very competitively priced, but we do have quite amazing quality. So don't have to spend $70 or $80 to get the quality.
Absolutely.
And, like we say all the time, and Good Health is one of your sponsors, but one of the best ways to know or be able to get recommendations is talk to the folks at Good Health when you go in there. The staff is so knowledgeable.
That's such a great point, that the folks at Good Health Natural Foods are really well trained in these issues, and they really are helpful, and they're going to go out of their way to make sure that you get the right information when you're kind of confused and wandering about out there. Hey, let's go to Ann in North Attleboro. Welcome to 96.9 Boston Talk Show and the Natural Health Show.
Hi, thank you very much. I've never called before. I just thank you for taking my call.
Glad to have it.
I just have a question on thyroid.
Mm-hmm.
I was told actually that my thyroid was fine, but I didn't believe it because I was kind of gaining weight in the middle, and I'm in menopause. And so I went for further testing to an endocrinologist. He said I was on the low end of all my levels, the T3 and the T4, and he wanted to put me on Synthroid. And I was wondering perhaps if there is something natural that I can take, like does not, you know what I mean, something that would
sure.
not be, other than.
Absolutely. Well, first things first. Really, really good that you're looking for information. That's number one, because there's a lot of information to digest when it comes to thyroid. There's a great book that I often recommend, written by Dr. Stephen Langer, Langer, who is the former former director of the Broda Barnes Research Foundation. Now, the Broda Barnes Foundation is in Trumbull, Connecticut, one of the most respected thyroid research organizations in the world. And Dr. Stephen Langer wrote a book called Solved: The Riddle of Illness. And it's about as comprehensive a thyroid book, and yet really understandable for laypersons. It's a great book, good read, a great book, and very informative. And he goes on to say it's incumbent on all practitioners to run a T3, a T4, a TSH, anti-thyroid antibody, an FTI, and to do a basal test.
And nobody does that.
No, they don't do. They basically do a T3, T4, TSH if you're lucky. So the three that they're generally missing is the anti-thyroid antibody, the FTI, and the basal metabolism test. So here's the real key there. You do the 3-day underarm temperature business, and you leave the thermometer under the first 10 minutes that you're awake in the morning, record that number times 3 days in a row. Then you get your average. Of course, you get an average by adding the 3 and then dividing by 3. There's your average. It wants to be between 97.8 and 98.2. So that's your goal, is to be between 97.8 and 98.2. Or else, as Dr. Langer says, that is the most important of all markers for thyroid, is your basal temperature. So of all these wonderful blood tests that are so important, there's nothing more important in his mind and in the mind of the researchers at Broda Barnes, according to Solved: The Riddle of Illness, than this basal test. And yet nobody does it anymore.
No, nobody does. In fact, you can be, your numbers can be way off. If you just go in and have a TSH test, it can be normal, and your T3 and T4. I mean, your thyroid affects everything. That little butterfly, and I feel like I don't feel myself, and he just wanted to throw me on the Synthroid.
Well, and there's a lot of wonderful endocrinologists that are very good friends of mine out there that actually are intent on treating folks like yourself subclinically, so that even if your numbers come out well, if you're not feeling well, they're going to still treat you. So, they're paying attention and listening, and not just going by 1 or 2 numbers. Anyway, to answer your question, yes, if you really read Solve: The Riddle of Illness, he would suggest, and I would suggest, that you get zinc gluconate, 50 milligrams a day, selenomethionine, it's a type of selenium, selenomethionine, and that would be 200 mcgs a day. And then you want to take an absorbable form of iron that doesn't have a tendency to accumulate in the system, but it's well absorbed. And I recommend the Flora Vital, FLORAVITAL, 1 teaspoon 3 times a day, or a tablespoon a day. So there's 3 things. So the first one is zinc gluconate,
I'm trying to write this down. I'm in the parking lot of Stop and Shop. Zinc gluconate.
Well, hey, listen, you know something? If you can't get it now, don't worry about it. You can go check out these programs because by Tuesday or so, we have everything up and running. So we podcast these shows, we record them, so you can actually you can listen back or you can actually watch the program and grab the information. But I'll go through it one more time.
Okay. It's so zinc gluconate, 50 milligrams.
50 milligrams. Seleno, S-E-L-E-N-O, selenomethionine, M-E-T-H-I-O-N-I-N-E, selenomethionine,
yep.
200 mcgs.
Yep.
Flora Vital, F-L-O-R-A-V-I-T-A-L, Flora Vital, 1 tablespoon a day.
1 tablespoon, and then the last one was iron, and make sure that it's not...
the Flora Vital is iron.
Oh, the Flora Vital is, so it is the 3, okay.
That is the type of iron that I'd recommend.
All right, thank you very much.
Pleasure. Good luck.
Have a wonderful day.
You too, thanks. In Boston and New England, 617-822-1969. Verizon Wireless users free call pound 969. Let's grab another call here. We've got Alex from Wakefield. Welcome to 96.9 Boston Talk Show and the Natural Health Show.
Hi, thanks for taking my call.
Pleasure. How are you?
Good, thanks. I was just calling. I typically follow a gluten-free, dairy-free diet, and is there any vitamins? I'm kind of sold on the CoQ10. Are there any other vitamins that you would recommend I take other than a multivitamin?
I'm going to throw that over to Catherine Foley from Jar Formulas. Go ahead, Catherine.
That's a great question. This week, I just did an amazing lecture with someone that we're working with at Jaro. Her name is Dr. Stacy Bell, and she is a PhD nutritionist and was on the board of Harvard Medical School, or a resident at Harvard Medical School. And we did a lecture about protein, and one of the things that she really talks about is for vegetarians and vegans to make sure that you're getting adequate protein. We're supposed to get about 20 grams per sitting, so breakfast, lunch, and dinner at the very least. And I think a lot of times people that are gluten-free and dairy-free, you really have to watch your protein sources and make sure that you're getting adequate protein.
Okay.
And other than that, I would, maybe... do one of the other things that she suggests is like a creatine or a carnitine supplement, and that really helps your body to metabolize fats from your diet and also keep your muscle tissue nourished and strong. Typically when you cut out a lot of the carbs, you're not getting a lot of those simple sugars that nourish the muscle tissue so quickly. So, and as we age too, it gets harder to hold on to muscle mass and do the exercise and have that have the conversion for holding on to muscle tissue and what have you.
I'd throw one in on there, too, if I may. I think, the objective to me, where you have 68% of all death in America is directly related to some inflammatory disease. 72% of all diseases are inflammatory in biochemical nature. So, the objective is to, from a preventive perspective, to try to do what we can to prevent disease, or in this case, prevent inflammation in the body. So, a fish oil would help, I think, too. Just taking a good fish oil, perhaps 2,000 to 3,000 milligrams of omega-3 a day would be a great support and a preventive agent as well. Hey, we're up against a break. Alex, thank you so much for calling the Natural Health Show.
Thank you so much.
A pleasure. Thank you. 617-822-1969. Verizon Wireless users free call pound 969. My name is Mark Mincola. You're listening to the Natural Health Show. We are joined by Catherine Foley from Jar Formulas. We'll be right back. Stay tuned.
What you want, when you want it. Online and on demand. 969BostonTalks.com.
When most people hear the word allergies, they think only of hay fever-like symptoms associated with airborne pollen, dust, and mold. But did you know that many experts estimate that between 60 and 80 million of us suffer from immune-related food allergies without even knowing it? Furthermore, food allergies often contribute to serious health problems such as autism, irritable bowel syndrome, ADD, headaches, and chronic ear infections. Now, there's an effective way to identify and eliminate both your food allergies and the troubling symptoms that they aggravate. Allotest Medical Labs at foodallergy.com offers a full complement of clinical, environmental, and food allergy testing to help you get to the root of your allergy problems. Allotest also provides you with a comprehensive rotation diet, lifestyle booklet, and a wallet card to help you live food allergy-free and stress-free. Do you wonder if you or your loved ones are among the 60 to 80 million food allergy sufferers in America? If so, log on to Allotest Medical Labs, foodallergy.com. Talk to your doctor about ordering a food allergy test from Allotest Medical Labs today. Foodallergy.com. Make sure the food you're eating isn't what's depleting you.
There's a fine balance between what's best for your landscape and what's best for your family. This is why Aspen Environmental Services of New England is proud to be an industry leader in the use of environmentally responsible products for outdoor pest control, tree and shrub spraying and injecting. Applications control Lyme disease ticks, caterpillars, adelgids, and 200 other pests that damage landscape. Visit the plant healthcare professionals at treeandlawncare.com. That's treeandlawncare.com. Or call 888-418-BUGS and mention Candida because listeners get a 10% discount. That's 888-418-BUGS. treeandlawncare.com. Get them before they get you.
Make plans now for a day with Joan Borysenko. Hear Joan Borysenko Sunday, August 7th at the John F. Kennedy Middle School in Waltham. Joan Borysenko is acknowledged as one of the world's greatest leaders and distinguished pioneer in integrative medicine and the mind-body connection. Joan Borysenko's groundbreaking book, Minding the Body, Mending the Mind, revolutionized our awareness of the mind-body connection a few years back. Now, Joan's new book, Fried, Why You Burn Out and How to Thrive, is here. Joan will share up-to-the-minute spiritual inspiration coming from her own process in a unique presentation, Reviving Your Life, with a book signing to follow. Register for Joan Borysenko on myhealthylivingmag.com. General admission is just $39. Program begins at 2 p.m. Call 781-834-2728 for tickets. That's 781-834-2728. This is your chance to see Joan Borysenko live Sunday, August 7th at the John F. Kennedy Middle School in Waltham. Register at myhealthylivingmag.com. Come learn how to revive your own life energy.
Now back to the Natural Health Show, sponsored by Good Health Natural Foods in Quincy and Hanover.
In Boston and New England, 617-822-1969. Verizon Wireless users free call pound 969. And again, happy, healthy Father's Day to all you dads out there in Radio Land, and hope you're enjoying a magnificent, beautiful, beautiful, radiant June Sunday. And we've been talking with you, and we've been joined by Catherine Foley from Jar Formulas about CoQ10, which is a remarkable supplement, again, found in every cell in the body. It's a delivery agent for oxygen and energy, adenosine triphosphate, and really important to realize that it's been well documented. 30,000 citations, 450 scientific papers from 200 different countries around the world proving the benefits of CoQ10 at treating a variety of degenerative diseases and supporting the body against congestive heart failure, high blood pressure, angina, arrhythmias, cardiomyopathy, Parkinson's, periodontal disease, fatigue, shortness of breath. It goes on and on and on. And amazing, amazing supplement, again, discovered in 1957 by Dr. Frederick Crane, who first isolated CoQ10 from beef heart, which is pretty astounding in and of itself. But again, when your levels decline by as much as 25%, your organs become deficient and impaired. And when levels are depleted by 75% or more, death may occur. And again, folks on statin drugs, listen up. Make sure that you have a discussion with your physician, a little powwow or two regarding your levels of CoQ10, because those statin drugs will wipe out a lot of that CoQ10. And that's very important, very important. We've got Thelma on the line from Scituate. Welcome to 96.9 Boston Talk Show and the Natural Health Show.
Hi, Mark.
How are you?
I am, well.
Good, good.
Wouldn't be calling if I was entirely well.
All right, okay.
I do take a lot of vitamins, and I've attended some of your classes. So, but I now have an aortic valve problem. And I also have, they say, a small mitral valve problem.
A mitral valve prolapse problem, yes?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
And so they want to fix my aortic valve, and they're doing a lot of tests to see about it, my cardiologist. However, it's going to involve surgery. I'm 82 years old, and I believe in treating myself naturally for most instances, and I'm just having a hard time trying to figure out what else I can do that would give me more. Would help me in a natural way, because I believe in natural.
Sure. Well, I think you're in a situation that requires the good professional assistance that you are obviously receiving at this point as well, and that's number one. Number two, to better educate yourself about your options is always extremely important, no question about that, because you need to be an active participant in your own healthcare issues as best you can, and I always suggest having as much wisdom and bringing that to the table in your discussions with your physician and your practitioner teams as you possibly can. One of the references that we've talked about on the program in the past, a great book again by Dr. Stephen T. Sinatra entitled The Sinatra Solution. Easy name to remember because it's the same last name as the singer, The Sinatra Solution. And it's about metabolic cardiology. And again, Dr. Sinatra talks extensively about the importance of supplements like CoQ10 and the importance of carnitine and the importance of the agents that are great, like the glycocarnitine, for example, the great energy-producing agents for the heart muscle. And again, metabolic cardiology is something that I think so many people are unaware of these days, that we have to really kind of get up to speed with a lot of the new thinking regarding cardiology. And again, Dr. Sinatra really, I think, broaches the topic expertly well in his new book. So I'd recommend that you get a copy of The Sinatra Solution on Metabolic Cardiology by Dr. Stephen T. Sinatra. And, I think that's number one. Anything that you want to throw in there, Catherine?
No, I definitely agree. I mean, it sounds like at 82, you've done an incredible job at taking good care of your health so far. So you're on the right track, and I think Mark is right. It's you're in the care of the professionals now, and what you can do is be the best advocate for any adjunct supplementation for that, and always let them know what you're taking and everything. And when they do the procedure, there's certainly a lot of things that you can do to make your recovery speedy.
Well, and again, the CoQ10, the carnitine, the ribose, the magnesiums, Dr. Sinatra talks at great length in the Sinatra Solution book about how important these agents are, and they're the difference makers, absolutely important.
Yeah, they're the nutrients that, every organ has its, food system, and it's the food system for the heart is all of those nutrients.
Well, I do take CoQ10 ubiquinol, and I take selenium, and I do a lot of other things. So I am trying to take care of myself.
Well, again, I think Catherine's point is good, Thelma. What you want to do is you want to tune into the specific nutrition for the heart, and in this particular book, I think it's a great guideline for that.
Great. Thank you so much.
Best wishes, Thelma. Thank you so much for calling.
Thank you.
All right, we've got, let's give you the number again. First in Boston, New England, 617-822-1969. Verizon Wireless uses free call, pound 96.9. Let's go to Nick in Framingham. Welcome to 96.9 Boston Talk from the Natural Health Show.
Hello.
How are you?
I'm calling about the CoQ10.
Okay, go ahead.
I have psoriatic arthritis, for which I take Enbrel and methotrexate. I take trazodone and other medications. And I wanted to ask what dose of the ubiquinol, 200 milligrams, should I take?
Well, the 200 milligrams is a dose, and that is probably a good dose for you, but that is the number.
As far as age is concerned.
Again, I'd recommend 200 milligrams. Catherine, what would you say?
Yeah, the recommendations are anywhere from 1 to 300 milligrams, 300 milligrams being on, the severe side. So you're right, 200 milligrams is a really good maintenance dose and preventative dose.
Well, since it's rather expensive, could you recommend some place where I could get a discount or...
Mark, at Good Health, I believe they discount their vitamins every day.
Yeah, they do. You could try Good Health Natural Foods in either Quincy or Hanover, because they do indeed, Catherine's correct, they do discount their vitamins on a routine basis, so you might want to give them a holler.
I see. Do you have their phone number you can give me?
I just happen to know it, yes. I'll give you their 617-773-4925. I'll do it again, 617
yes.
773
yes.
4925.
4925. All right, thank you very much.
Pleasure. Best wishes.
Bye-bye.
All right, bye-bye. So, Catherine, I think, one of the other things we want to bring up here is that CoQ10 has a great history. Again, Dr. Sinatra actually talks about CoQ10 being very important with carnitine and ribose, kind of a trio, if you will, that help in a combination of problems, not just heart disease, fibromyalgia, and chronic fatigue and syndrome X as well.
Right, absolutely. I mean, CoQ10 is energy. I mean, your muscle cells need CoQ10 in order for the energy reaction to be complete. That's why it's in such large concentrations in the heart muscle, is because the heart has the largest energy demands of the entire body. So all the muscle fibers are infused with CoQ10, and that's why, as you noted, that at a deficiency, you lose function of the heart muscle because it is part of that energy chain.
Great.
Energy reaction chain, so it's very important. And then the ribose is the sugar for the heart cells, for the muscle.
And again, when you use the word sugar, people get their antennae up, and I think we want to make sure that people understand that it's a pentose. It's a safe, healthy sugar, folks. It's not an unhealthy sugar. But ribose is a supplement that is extremely important at providing your cells with energy. Again, the cells of the heart muscle, the cells of the brain, and again, ribose with CoQ10 and carnitine, the three work exceptionally well together at doing that very thing.
Yeah, and the thing about, carnitine, CoQ10, and also creatine is our dietary sources of these three ingredients is particularly in red meats and lots of, meat and fish and those type of foods. So, for people that are more people are following a vegetarian and vegan diet now. And so it's important to take a look at that with supplementation as well to make sure that you are getting those critical nutrients.
Absolutely true. I think the other important point here, too, is that so many folks are thinking in terms of day-to-day energy and, perhaps looking to caffeine to get a boost and don't realize that you're going to get a short-term, moment-to-moment fix with that. But, again, the long-term issue with energy is that you're going to deplete yourself with those things. And, again, the areas that we're talking about, the brain and the heart, over an extended period of time need the replenishment at a long-distance level. And we're talking about agents that will do that very thing. Hey, we're up against a quick little breather here, and we'll be right back. Stay where you are.
Friend us on Facebook. Link up at 969bostontalks.com.
Hi, this is Laura from Good Health. We believe that sometimes less is more. When it comes to proper digestion, energy, brain, and nerve health, we love B12. Fantastic for bursitis, carpal tunnel, knee, joint, and back pain. Not all B12s are created equal. Some of our best sellers include No Shot Sublingual. They're small but potent and provide the nutrients you need fast. Mega Food Balanced B12 is vital for energy and metabolism of fats and proteins. Methyl B12 by Jarrow Formulas is perhaps the gold standard. These sweet vegetarian nuggets protect nerve and brain tissues. The methyl form also promotes sleep. At Good Health, you can purchase all your natural vitamins and sports supplements, clean cosmetics, and natural groceries and never pay regular retail. We believe in everyday low prices. We think your family deserves the best. So shop at Good Health in Quincy or Hanover. For store hours and locations or to learn more about our monthly specials, visit goodhealthnaturalfood.com. For everything organic and gluten-free, it's Good Health.
That's his name. Have you ever felt your intuition as a spiritual sense? Or experienced the life-changing power of gratitude? Are you drawn to spirituality, but not religion? Meet Mother Claire Watts, Spiritual Master Teacher, at the Center of Light in Framingham on the weekend of June 9th through the 11th. Mother Claire is giving 3 interactive seminars on topics related to those who want something more in life. The Center of Light is located at 85 Edgell Road in Framingham. For more information, email boston@centersoflight.org. That's Boston at centersoflight.org or call 617-990-7411. 617-990-7411. Make plans now to meet Mother Claire Watts, Spiritual Master Teacher at the Center of Light in Framingham on the weekend of June 9th through the 11th. Come see for yourself the possibilities of deeper peace, healing, and connection.
Now, back to the Natural Health Show, sponsored by Good Health Natural Foods in Quincy and Hanover.
All right, Catherine, we've got a good friend of yours ready to come on board. Why don't you introduce Dallas for us?
Yeah, Dallas works with Jarrow Formulas. He is one of our head writers and formulators. Dallas got his PhD from UC Berkeley. He's a fellow at American College of Nutrition, associate editor of Total Health, and we love talking to him. Hi, Dallas.
Dallas, are you there?
That was such a good intro.
It was a great intro, and he knows a whole heck of a lot about CoQ10 as well, but he hasn't called in yet, I guess.
No.
So he will be calling in, hopefully momentarily.
We'll try it again.
But, yeah, we'll try that again. That was a great drum roll, though.
Do I have to do it again?
So again, for the thing that I really want to bring up here is that we're talking about two different types of CoQ10, ubiquinone and ubiquinol.
Right.
And is it possible? Jarrow Formulas, for example, manufactures both ubiquinone and ubiquinol.
Yep.
So should I assume that some folks might do better with one than the other, or should everybody just be taking the ubiquinol because it's more readily absorbable?
I mean, if I was going to be spending the money, I would get the ubiquinol because of the absorption is better. And there's, a conversion process that happens in your body, and your body turns the ubiquinone into ubiquinol and makes it bioavailable. Right. So there's a lot of play with that process and whether some people do it efficiently or not. So there's a lot of biochemical individuality for each person on how they're going to metabolize the ubiquinone.
Right.
The ubiquinol, we know where it's going and getting in there. So
the short answer is go ubiquinol, folks.
Yeah, I believe so. I mean, if it, it particularly, we definitely recommend ubiquinol for older customers because your efficiency to do the conversion goes down with age as well. So, but it's not too much of a price difference from ubiquinone, so you definitely get, double the effect.
Right. Hey, let's go to a very patient Chris from Leicester. Welcome to 96.9 Boston Talk Show on the Natural Health Show, and thanks for waiting.
Hi.
How are you?
Good, and you?
Very well, thanks.
Good. My question is a blood clot in the leg that went to the lungs. Would the CoQ10 be good for that?
Go ahead, Catherine, take that.
I mean, yeah, CoQ10 is going to be good. Basically, blood clots are, you probably want to kind of maybe look at, and I'll also ask Mark, but maybe look at some of the MK7 or the NATO for the blood clots in general. But anytime you have a cardiovascular event like that, a blood clot coming from the leg and traveling to the lung is a pulmonary embolism.
Right. Yeah. Well, and there are platelet studies that Dr. Sinatra talks about with CoQ10. So CoQ10 is very important at keeping those platelets safe for you, and kind of keeping your blood thin. The other aspect of that is too, thromboxane A2 is the hormone that you want to be more careful about. Is the clotting factor hormone in the body, the eicosanoid, and it's an inflammatory agent that literally causes clotting, inflammation at the blood level. And food plays an important role here too. We know for a fact that any food that produces a fat called arachidonic acid is going to increase your risks for this clotting factor business. So red meats, dairy, egg yolks, peanuts, if those are in your diet, you probably want to get them off and go a little bit thinner with your foods. Again, there are foods that will thin your blood as well. Obviously, fatty fish will do that. Soy products will do that. Walnuts, pumpkin seeds, a lot of your fruits and vegetables, really important way to go.
Oh, okay.
All right.
Oh, thank you very much.
Pleasure. Thank you so much for calling.
Thank you.
Pleasure. And Catherine, that's an important point with all this stuff here, too, is that, we often kind of get really excited about, and we certainly should, about nutrients like CoQ10 because as far as a preventive supplement, it's superior beyond any. But at the same time, you can't just take the CoQ10 and be eating a lot of real fatty fried foods and things like that.
Right.
So we always come back home here to this reality that it's all about realizing these are supplements. Supplementing to what, you might ask? A supplementation to your diet.
Yeah.
So it's all about food. It starts with food.
It is so important. It is so important.
So when you think about, what we've been talking a lot about tonight, the heart and the health of the heart muscle and the health of the brain and the idea of making certain that you're efficient as far as your chemistry goes, excuse me, you want to make sure that you're not only using your CoQ10, but you want to make sure that you're not overdoing the inflammatory foods that cause clotting factor problems, like we just pointed out, egg yolks, a lot of peanut. A lot of folks are using a lot of peanut butter. Hey, I thought that was a healthy food. And it can be. It definitely can be. But you've got to know your individual chemistry. Nutrition is not one size fits all.
Right.
So it's very important to make sure that if you want to keep your blood thin and you've had clotting problems and you've had problems with heart disease, you probably want to opt out on peanuts. You probably want to opt out on a lot of red meat. That's not an 11 o'clock news flash there, but obviously you want to opt more for fatty fish. You want to opt more for, like we said, walnuts, pumpkin seeds, soy products, etc. And you can really cut down on some of the dairy, the peanuts, the red meat products, and the egg yolks because those are going to keep that blood mud very, very thick.
Yeah.
So that's an important point there. So tell us about what any new research from Jar Formulas regarding the CoQ10 issue.
Well, again, it's there's constantly JARO is associated with the International CoQ10 Symposium, so they are always working to get the education out there as far as educating the community, the scientific community, and the medical community about CoQ10 as well. There was, because I have particular interest in it, there was recently a clinical study with CoQ10 looking at bronchial asthmatics.
Huh.
And the study was done to look at reduced dependency on steroid inhalers.
Right.
And it was a conclusive study. They saw a decrease in dependence on the use of steroid inhalers.
Incredible. So yet another application.
Yeah, the clinical study came about because there was a survey done several years ago from the same group that was curious about the levels of CoQ10 in bronchial asthmatics, and so they looked at a profile of bronchial asthmatics, took their serum levels, and measured their CoQ10, and across the board they saw that they had about a 20% reduction in their levels of CoQ10 alone. So they suggested that a study looking at CoQ10 supplementation may be beneficial in helping them with their bronchial events.
That is absolutely incredible. So we now have new research to look forward to, and obviously with this particular lead research, we're going to probably see a little bit more of that.
That's really new. It's very new. It's just something that I am interested in personally. So I just saw it and researched it. So that was just very recently.
See, that's why we love to have Catherine Foley on board, because we get the cutting edge, folks. Nothing but the best for you. Hey, we've got Steve on the line from Framingham. Welcome to 96.9 Boston Talk. You're in the Natural Health Show.
Thank you. Thank you for a great show.
Pleasure.
I've been a fan of CoQ10 for a while, but I have a couple of questions. I found it very difficult to get health professionals to talk about it or answer questions about it. And so my first question is, how do you do that? How do you get them to give you information on it, talk to you about it based on your condition and medications? And the second question is there any evidence that CoQ10 is contraindicated with any of the current prescription medications or other supplements?
I'll take the first one. Number one, you can't get anybody to do anything. But here's what I would say. This great country of ours is still, it's still all about being a service-related nation. So there are so many service industries, and people tend to forget that the healthcare industry is a service industry. You go to a restaurant, you don't get a good meal, you send the food back, you go to another restaurant. Okay, it's no different in any other industry that is a service industry. If you are able to have an intelligent dialogue with your healthcare professional, you score. If you don't, you need to find one.
Okay.
So that's my advice. And there are many nowadays that are very, very well equipped to do that very thing. This is a very different time. 30 years ago when I started doing what I do, it was really tough sledding. Not so much anymore. I think it is still tough sledding, but not nearly like it was. There are very, very intelligent practitioners out there of all sorts that are really well studied and well versed in supplementation in both, the orthodoxy as well as natural medicine. So, just seek that out. I know we have good friends. Dr. Glenn Rothfeld is a great example of somebody who's very well versed in both orthodoxy and natural medicine. Dr. LaCava, Thomas LaCava. Let's see, there's a number of different folks out there these days. So, you got to search them out, and you got to basically, as a consumer, look for the right kind of connection.
Okay.
Catherine, I'll let you take the second one.
Yeah, and we can pass this by Dallas as well, but as far as I know, there are no current contraindications with ubiquinol or CoQ10, but we can certainly ask Dallas. So if you can continue to listen to the show when Dallas comes on, we'll pass that by him and make sure. And also, in addition to what Mark had to say, too, I always recommend for people, if they are trying to look for information on a supplement, that they can also go to the Google search engine, but go to Google Scholar. And Google Scholar will put you into a search engine that is primarily literature-based rather than marketing from companies.
Right.
So it's a great way to kind of go back and forth between some of the types of things that are written that are marketing driven by companies, and then compare them to the actual scientific data. And you can always print out some of those things that support the position that you want and bring that to your physician too.
Well, thank you so much. I appreciate the
Well, thank you so much for calling as well. Bye-bye. I think we're up against a little break time. We have to do a little chat here with regards to some products that we're going to introduce to you, and we'll be right back. Stay tuned.
Get up and get going with Jim and Marjorie.
This is one of the things in our 5 ways to stay cool thing. You put ice cubes on your pulse points, on your wrists, and on your neck. That works.
Do you ever put a can of beer in your underpants? Anthony Weiner has.
Jim and Marjorie, now at their new time. Weekday mornings, 6 till 10 on 96.9 Boston Talks.
Hi, this is Laura from Good Health. Summer is all about enjoying great weather and wholesome foods with friends and family. While you're relaxing and enjoying your backyard barbecues, bring out the natural, non-GMO, and organic summer foods. No worries, Good Health is the exclusive distributor of Field Day, a new organic line of pastas, beans, salad dressings, and festive warm weather condiments. We stock clean, hormone-free, grass-fed beef, 100% natural chicken, lamb, ham steaks, and buffalo meats. For your burgers on the grill, we have ground meats, turkey, and organic veggies. For those beach days, stock up on those thirst-quenching natural beverages, 100% organic fruit, and picnic-friendly snacks and desserts. We keep it simple, economical, and preservative-free. So visit us in Quincy or Hanover today. Check us out at goodhealthnaturalfood.com. Come see why we were voted Best Natural Health and Beauty Retailer by South Shore Living magazine. We look forward to seeing you soon, and thanks for listening.
There's a fine balance between what's best for your landscape and what's best for your family. This is why Aspen Environmental Services of New England is proud to be an industry leader in the use of environmentally responsible products for outdoor pest control, tree and shrub spraying and injecting. Applications control Lyme disease ticks, caterpillars, adelgids, and 200 other pests that damage landscape. Visit the plant healthcare professionals at treeandlawncare.com. That's treeandlawncare.com. Or call 888-418-BUGS and mention Candida because listeners get a 10% discount. That's 888-418-BUGS. treeandlawncare.com. Get them before they get you. Now, back to the Natural Health Show, sponsored by Good Health Natural Foods in Quincy and Hanover.
All right, welcome back. We just, confirmed that We had a little glitch in terms of Dallas Clotreau getting on board here with us, so we apologize for that. We're going to have him on very soon, though, so not to worry. And we have a lot to look forward to when we do hear from him, because we always learn so much from Dallas and his great research, etc. So we'll look forward to getting Dallas back on here soon, folks. Don't worry about that. But meanwhile, I think a couple points we want to bring up here that there are no known contraindications. I wanted to cover that for CoQ10. I think the most recent call that just came in had questions about that. And again, to this point in time, that's not to suggest that somebody can't have a negative reaction to something that wasn't studied and that hasn't been made public knowledge. But again, as of this point, there are no known contraindications for CoQ10. Nonetheless, I think Catherine brought up a really good point that the recommended dose is 1 to 300 milligrams, and the most advisable type of CoQ10 is the most absorbable, which is the ubiquinol. And those are the key points. Sound right? Is Catherine still there? Catherine's lost too. All right, we lost everybody, so we're a ship without a rudder right now. That's just as well, because we're coming up to that final 5 minutes or so here. So I wanted to make a couple points as well that we mentioned earlier in the broadcast, that anybody that can't keep up with all this information because things are moving too quickly, regarding different supplements and doses and things of this nature, you can always go back over comb back over this information by going to our website at www.maxhealing.com. One word, maxhealing.com. And you can comb back over the archives of tonight's broadcast, or virtually any in the past, because they're all cataloged on there. Also, you can choose to watch the podcast if you wish, because we do indeed podcast the program. Usually, these shows are up and running about Tuesday, no later than Wednesday. So if you keep an eye on that, you can catch up with what we've talked about this evening. And, of course, I want to also mention that I have a Fox presentation each and every other Thursday. So this Thursday at 8:50, I'll be doing a presentation again on Fox. And my segment is entitled, my segment at Fox 25 is a healthy living segment, so you can check that out. It's a Living Well segment, and again at 8:50 on Thursday. And also, we want to make sure that we thank Patrick Stevens for doing an exceptional job here, a great producer. We also want to make sure that you keep it right here on 96.9 Boston Talks for Right Turn Radio with Woody and Abby, of course. And it's New England's #1 addiction program. Always fascinating, good listening. And we also want to make sure, too, that folks are clear about the fact that we have Catherine Foley on here fairly regularly, and she enlightens us regarding a lot of what's going on with Jarrow Formulas. We thank her for being on board. Catherine, it was wonderful to have you on board. It was great to have you here, and we wish your beautiful little dog Segundo the very, very best. And I'm sure great things are going to happen, because his mom knows exactly what to recommend to keep a healthy, strong heart. And I'm sure for that he is grateful. All right, and again, we welcome everybody here on the Natural Health Show each and every Sunday. We're on here at 5 o'clock here on 96.9 Boston Talks, and we welcome you to join us again next Sunday as we talk about your health from a natural perspective, from a holistic perspective. And until that time, this is Mark Mincola reminding you all, please be wise, be aware, be well. Make it a healthy week. Good night.